everybody. Happy Friday, and welcome to Collider Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Sinead DeVries, and this is the daily show where we bring you the latest news from the world of movies, plus talk about, that's not it, plus give you some insight into what it all means. Haven't been here since TV Talk. All right, joining us this morning and leading the pack is Mark Reilly.
Oh my God, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. Truly. Who's with me on Star Wars?
Yeah,
also
you said
here
it.
on Star Wars is Josh Macuga.
Hey, Sinead, I was shocked when you said movie talk. Because I hear, when your voice says it, I hear TV talk.
I know, it always confuses me these
Threw
days.
you off a little bit. We're Star Wars. There was this thing, a little Star Wars, lightsaber Star Wars.
Also here is John Rocha.
Star Wars, lightsabers, trailers, posters, red, Star Wars. Everything Star Wars. And if you hate the I'm taking a bat to your house. All right, we're going to talk about it, though. Let's go.
Jesus, take it easy.
All right, guys. Yeah, that is right. The Last Jedi trailer dropped fresh from celebrations. We are all here for a reaction, which you can see now. Watch it after the show, of course, but it is up now. So we're really excited about that. But Sinead, what do we got with this first trailer?
So that very first trailer for Star Wars The Last Jedi hit this morning, fresh off its debut showing at Star Wars Celebration in Orlando. Having taken her first steps into a larger world in Star Wars The Force Awakens, Rey continues her epic journey with Finn, Poe, and Luke Skywalker in the next chapter of the saga. It stars Daisy Ridley, Mark Hamill, John Boyega, Adam Driver, Oscar Isaac, Carrie Fisher, Lupita Nyong'o, and Andy Serkis, alongside newcomers Laura Dern and Benicio del Toro. Written and directed by Looper's Rian Johnson, the film is set to hit theaters on December 15th, 2017. Riley, what did you think of the first trailer for The Last Jedi?
Now that's a fucking trailer, man. That's a trailer. I'm going there. I'm going there. I'm sorry for cursing, but that's how excited I am. That trailer knocked my socks off. Because of I know you're scoring me. I love it. Thank you, Josh Macuga. You follow me around in life, and I'm like blending into the background.
You
too.
are.
Trust me, I'm a Jedi, and I'm blending into the background. Look, that trailer, with the last words from Luke Skywalker saying the Jedi must end, that did it for me. This is a different Star Wars movie. That line alone told me so much. And we speculated a bit in the reaction video, but there's been rumors of Luke walking away, obviously, from the Jedi Order, becoming somewhat of a gray Jedi, maybe neither light nor dark. That, to me, is what is interesting when he says the Jedi must end. What does that mean? What does that mean for, if we go to the prequels, the religious order, that is the Jedi, were so caught up that they didn't see the dark side coming, which overtook them. The Republic falls, and then the Empire rises. Then Luke, Josh, you made a great comment during the trailer reaction. Man, Luke's...
I did that?
Yes, you did, my friend. The guy wearing the Fast and Furious 8 hat made a fantastic Star Wars comment.
The only thing that this trailer didn't have was torpedoes on an iceberg with a submarine.
You shut your mouth right now. You're gone too far now. Do not bring up that nonsense with this trailer review. Okay, so what's happening here is that...
Nonsense.
It's a tragic story for Luke Skywalker.
Of course.
Okay? He loses his father to the dark side, redeems it, loses him again. Then he loses Han Solo. He's losing, what's going to happen with Leia? You know, he walks away from the Jedi Order. Hosnia Prime, the seat of the Republic, blown to smithereens. The dark side is leading this new campaign with the First Order. This is a galaxy in chaos. There is darkness. And he's saying the Jedi must end?
Yeah.
For me, that shocked me because I'm like, wait a minute. Why does the Jedi must end? Don't we need to rise the Jedi again and take over and defeat evil? No, this trailer is telling you quite the opposite. So it is so fascinating to me. Look at that teaser poster behind me. That is full of darkness. It's red. If you look, that lightsaber starts blue and ends red. Okay? She is going to be grappling with the dark side. Yeah. It is a split thing with Rey and Luke together. What does that mean? God, there is so much that I love. I don't appreciate the haters coming right out and telling me this trailer sucked.
It's so easy for them to hate.
I don't get it. I do not get why.
Just go ahead and hate. Nobody's listening to you idiots, okay? Yeah. Just go ahead and hate.
I immediately tweet out my reaction, and I got at least 20 responses saying, oh, that trailer sucked. That trailer sucked. What do you want? What the hell do you want that you say that trailer sucked? Fine, that's your opinion. The trailer sucks. Go away. Go home. Okay?
Yes.
Don't come to me and say it sucks. Give me reasons why it sucks, okay? Don't just say it sucks. You suck. All right? I don't get it. I love Star Wars. I'm wearing a goddamn Star Wars shirt for... Why do you tell me it sucks? I mean, give me some reasons
Go
behind
tell
it.
other people who care that it sucks. It sucks. We like it. We're always going to like it. It's effing Star Wars, you dummies.
Yeah.
Rocha, go.
Yeah. Rocha, yeah. What do you think, Rocha?
I just love the fact that I said I was going to take a bat to people's house. People said, "You're going too far."
We're like,
These
calm
two-
down,
these two-
Rocha.
Yeah, right. Me, calm down. No, listen, this trailer was fantastic. If you want to hate it, go ahead, hate it. You're right to your opinion, whatever you want to do. But from my opinion, this was exactly what we were waiting for. Something that was different than Force Awakens. Something, because Force Awakens, JJ did a great job of laying the groundwork of bringing us back into the original trilogy vibe of Star Wars. This puts us back in the Empire Strikes vibe. It's darker, it's more nuanced. The shots, the visual, the art direction is amazing. The samurai stuff is so prevalent there, which was the influence. Akira Kurosawa's films, which were the influence for the first film, for A New Hope. You see that shot from her behind. She almost looks like those old school samurais with the knot on the back of her head when they had the thing. Like, she looks so powerful and commanding a presence. And then we have the faraway shot that looks almost like Karate Kid, where Miyagi is training Daniel how to do the kicks, the crane kicks, which is so brilliant. And you hear him talking, then you see her using the Force with the rocks coming off. All of it great. The shot of Kylo with the blade, like, it's almost very reminiscent of Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Like, there's so much going on here. And I don't know if I'm crazy, but I heard whispers when she says light and darkness of other voices. Somebody else who's got way better audio equipment than me can go back and analyze that and see if you hear that too. We see Finn.
Well, you were saying Yoda. Come on,
Yeah,
say it.
I thought I heard Yoda
I'll
about when
take
she
that.
says light. Yeah,
I'll
and then
take
you
that.
hear-
I was trying to listen.
Do you hear Vader breathing?
Yeah, well, in the darkness part, yeah.
Vader was breathing as we were coming up to the shattered helmet of Kylo Ren.
Burning
There's a little
shattered helmet,
little tiny breathing of Vader, which I love. Josh
And when
Macuga,
you
come on.
see him staring, when you see Kylo Ren staring down his lightsaber, he doesn't have a mask.
Yeah.
So his mask is gone at that point.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of this trailer, and you know, you touched on it, is that with being a Jedi, everything that follows you is tragedy.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's trying to take you out. So the people in your life are all at risk. It's like being in the witness protection program. It's like being in the mob. It's like anything. You chose, this life kind of chose you, and you have to follow it. And that's why I think he says the Jedi have to end.
Yeah.
But that's definitely at the beginning of the movie. And that's Rey in there teaching him, convincing him to teach her to really go back and fight. Because maybe he finds out that Han Solo died.
Well,
Maybe
no.
Rey tells him.
Well, the Knights of Ren stuff too, which
Yes.
were touched on in Force Awakens. How much of that does that affect Luke, so that Luke does not just wants to end the whole thing?
Right.
Well,
Because
that's
he
a good-
can't handle the weight of it.
Yeah, and that's a good point because you bring up the Knights of Ren, and we go back to that force back that Rey had when she touched the lightsaber in Force Awakens, and we see Luke and R2 and Luke crumbling to his knees in front of a Jedi temple burning to the ground.
Yes.
Next shot, Captain Phasma with some First Order troopers. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe Kylo Ren turns to the dark side. He gets the First Order with him. He gets Captain Phasma, some troopers, and he just takes a lightsaber and a flamethrower to the Jedi temple.
Is that Phasma? I thought that was Kylo, and Kylo would know where he is because remember they went around like in that
the
book.
mask was shiny though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but
I thought that was
Kylo
Captain
so I
Phasma
don't know.
walking out.
Yeah, you're true.
So
Okay.
it
you might
could
be right.
either.
Who knows?
And this trailer is a harken back, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is original stuff. If you're doing a greatest hits album, that's the
poster, you mean the poster?
you put
Yeah,
on
the
it.
poster is great.
I mean,
Got 70s and 80s, very evocative
awesome.
of that. I love the fact that it starts out blue and goes red. I love the fact that Kylo is below Luke because he's coming into his power. Luke has already embraced fully his power, and I like that we left off with Luke. Yes, in Force Awakens at the end. Yes,
Sure.
But the Luke we know is the original trilogy. Luke who closed the book on everything, found closure, had peace with his dad, a happier Luke. That is not what we see here, and that's what's so powerful about this poster.
And that's why that last line that he speaks is a gut punch.
Yeah.
It really is. If you're a Star Wars fan, if you are a fan of the lore, the myth, the story, that got me. That got me, and that's what I love about this. You know, it started with the first poster with Force Awakens. One of the main posters is that the dual lightsabers, Rey and Kylo Ren, Boyega was holding the lightsaber, and Kylo Ren's lightsaber kind of splitting the two, light and dark. We're getting another here. So that is our story, and I couldn't be more happy. And I'm seeing reactions here. We're going to see a deeper meaning of any Star Wars movie. We're going to really, really explore the myth of the Jedi because he goes and he finds some books from the Jedi Order. It looks like these books are stationed on a Force tree.
Yeah.
That's just my thinking,
Oh, yeah.
because the Force trees were introduced in some of the canon offshoot comic books. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the first Jedi Temple that we've heard maybe Luke is searching for. So I love that we're going to just go right into it. Is it the Journal of the Wills? Maybe we'll see the Journal of the Wills for the very first time.
It's the Pacino in Godfather 3. Just when I thought it was out, they pulled me back in.
Let's hope it's not
That's what's happening.
quality of Godfather 3, but I appreciate the reference nonetheless.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over to the table.
Yeah.
Sinead, Wendy,
Yeah.
what did you guys think of this trailer?
Well, I really, really like it. And you have to remember that it's April. Like, this movie doesn't come out till Christmas.
That's
It's a
the bummer
long
part of
way
it.
away. So if you were expecting them to tell you every single thing that you would expect from a first trailer, you shouldn't have, because this is more like a teaser trailer, which I feel like people are getting upset about because they're like, okay, great. But what I really liked about it is from the second it starts, I felt like it was a different movie, and that was really cool. And the whole, like, I feel like there's a couple really awesome things right now. We're in like the age of Star Wars, and granted, I just became obsessed with Star Wars, like a year ago, thanks to all of these nerdos.
You're
but I'm
welcome.
so freaking obsessed, and I feel like
And I
haven't
got your
had
little
to,
son a little Star Wars hoodie for his birthday.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. Harrison has way cooler Star Wars clothes than I do. Thank you. But I was going to say, I feel like I haven't had to wait very long for more Star Wars, which
Yeah.
for me, I'm so happy about. Coming off of Rogue One, which I freaking loved, saw it multiple times in theaters.
Yeah, Sinead.
Yeah,
That's
and
my
I-
favorite Star
Atta
Wars
girl.
movie.
I know. I saw it multiple
Really?
times.
It's a
I
good
loved
one.
it so much. There were times where I thought I loved it more than The Force Awakens, not gonna lie. And coming off of that and not even having to wait that long before getting this, I just feel like we're in such an awesome, magical time of Star Wars, and it's incredible. And if you put aside everything that you were hoping to see from a first trailer and just accept what is, the shots are beautiful. Even like the colors, everything about it is really like captivating and intriguing. There is a lot of action in this short teaser trailer, and I feel like it's going to be like that war type vibe, which I got from Rogue One, which I loved. And it kind of grounds it a little bit more for someone who doesn't totally understand everything just yet. I feel like this is the time for people who are not on the Star Wars bandwagon to get the hell on, because this is a good time. I feel like people can understand it. I don't know. I just loved everything about it, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, Wendy.
Sinead, I loved everything you said. From this is like a good time to be a Star Wars fan, old or new Star Wars. This trailer, it's a teaser, so I think some people are so excited about the fact that they're about to see The Last Jedi trailer that they're forgetting that it's a teaser. And for what a teaser, it's a long teaser, actually, 2 minutes and 13 seconds. For what it was great. It got me really excited. It got me to want to see more trailers coming out, which I believe what a teaser trailer is supposed to do. I like that they teased every single character that we saw from The Force Awakens, even Phasma. She didn't do really anything in The Force Awakens. I'm hoping to see more from her. So it's just like a nice little reminder review of what The Force Awakens was, and it shows us that, yes, your questions are going to be answered. What's Luke going to say? What's going to happen? We see Rey on that island right off the bat. Questions answered, okay. And of course, there's a lot more theories now. We're hearing Leia's, when we see Leia, the back of her head, we're hearing Rey's theme. I know Reilly's kind of going crazy about that. We're seeing Kylo Ren's mask destroyed on the floor. What does it all of it mean? What does that poster mean? You know, like, it's just time to be really excited. And that's why we all collectively liked it so much. It's because we're fans of the franchise and we're excited about it.
Absolutely.
This
and
whole thing is a war movie.
Yeah.
It is. And
Mentally, physically, everything.
So I went and watched the panel when Rian Johnson came out and took notes, and he specifically said, the galaxy is in chaos. The seat of the Republic has been blown up by the First Order.
Right.
He said, sure, they lost Starkiller Base, but they also took out the seat of the Republic. So the galaxy is in chaos.
Yes.
The leadership is probably splintering in all different directions. That's why I got a space battle. I see, resistance ships taking on First Order.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Why does Kylo Ren, you mentioned it, Wendy, why does Kylo Ren's mask on the ground shattered to pieces? Where is Rey's place in this? Where is Luke's place in this? And I love that they're teasing with music. Music is such an integral part of this
Yeah.
series. And you are seeing little hints at that. Rey's theme plays as we see Leia overlooking a battle schematic.
Yeah.
So I'm getting shades of not only Return of the Jedi with the battle sequences, I'm seeing Hoth battle with the AT-ATs and that cool shot of them skimming across sand
that
and
red
bringing
stuff?
the red stuff.
I love that so
I know.
much.
Yeah, Josh kept going back to
What's
that.
the
and I was
red
like-
stuff?
And I love it. I
I
love
want
it.
that.
You know,
Yeah.
and any good Star Wars movie is going to intercut between battles and Jedi stuff. And I already see that in this trailer.
Yep.
So they're really teasing a lot without showing us much.
Also, something that's really that's kind of subtle, but you catch is that they're dealing with higher end stuff now. It looks in terms of their equipment, like they were in a dungeon or in a cave with this green stuff. Now they're in a higher end, looks like a place and ship, and everywhere like where Poe is running, like everything is a little more higher end in terms of the technology, in terms of the look of it. Like so it's very evocative of the original trilogy too, because it's that white and blue of R2D2. It's got that whole vibe to it, which I really, really enjoy. It's letting you know that they're growing in power to go against the First Order. So this war thing you're talking about, Josh, is absolutely it's a build up, and and they're going to have the confrontation, obviously in the third film, but the build up is there, and so something's going to happen that's really, really devastating in this movie, I think. And from the panel, and I don't know how much we're going to talk about the panel, Mark, is that Boyega said Finn ain't messing around in this movie.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
a really powerful line for him to say.
Yeah.
And of course, Daisy had great things to say about Rey as well. And we're going to see how that plays out in this film. And I'm just super excited about the stuff that we're able to see. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a second teaser trailer that's done from the dark side, where we see Snoke training Kylo and
That
see that
would
kind of
be-
thing to kind of balance it out. Where
that
people are
would be
complaining
something.
that we
That-
didn't see enough Snoke. That's certainly possible.
That's a great point, Rocha. I think that can happen. And along with this panel, just real quick, we got confirmation of Kelly Marie Tran's character. She's Rose. She's part of the Resistance. She's a maintenance worker.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill, who is a national treasure. This guy, Mark Hamill, comes out and is just like, oh, I have selective memory, so I don't even remember what I had for breakfast. And Kathleen Kennedy goes, well, I'll tell you. Luke plays an integral part, is the main character in this movie, which I found exciting. The trailer shows it. It goes right. Luke speaks. The first thing you hear is Luke speaking.
Yeah.
So they're going right at it, which I love. Ryan Johnson, all the things he said. It was a fantastic panel. It gave you a lot. The trailer then finished it off. The
And
poster.
how about the coolness of Ryan Johnson going up to the line with a megaphone and saying, I'm going to come around to all of you in
Yeah.
the middle of the night last night, because everybody was waiting to get into that panel. And he was like, I'm going to treat these people. And I mean, just a cool dude.
He's living the dream. He knows
Yeah.
his place. He's excited. He's going out to the fans. I saw a number of signatures of his
Yeah.
on all sorts of Star Wars paraphernalia. It must be exciting to be there. I'm now very jealous I'm not there.
This was the first time I was jealous
I was,
too. Yeah.
you know, I saw the Facebook Live. And go ahead and follow everybody over there in celebrations. You know, obviously Christian Harloff, who's kind of leading the charge. They're doing Facebook Live updates, and it looks like it's just a blast. And that you guys are having a blast. And just to end this, a lot of people in the chat are saying they heard Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Yep. No surprise.
Maybe that's what you're hearing. I haven't heard it yet. I'm gonna, of course, because I'm gonna go in and watch this. That's my excitement level. I know I told the haters to go suck it, but you know what? It's my excitement. I'm not gonna. I love Star
Do
Wars.
not back down, Mark.
I'm not backing down. I'm telling you, I love it, and I don't care.
It's all
And if you
about
guys-
family. Fast date.
Wait,
we're talking
wait,
about-
No. But go watch it again. Enjoy it. If you think it sucks,
Knocked out there for
tell
a
me
second.
why. Give me reasons why.
I live my
okay?
life a quarter space mile at a
But
time.
we could do the whole show on
Yes.
this Star Wars trailer.
We really could.
Do you want to or what?
I don't know. We kind of have some other things to talk about because some other news broke yesterday, which is also from my childhood.
There we go.
Coming back in action with one of my favorite upcoming directors. Sinead, who is it? What's going
All
on?
right. Deadline is reporting that TriStar Pictures has set Don't Breathe director Fede Alvarez to direct a sequel to Labyrinth, the cult favorite film that co-starred a young Jennifer Connelly alongside David Bowie. Alvarez and Jay Basu will co-write the story, with Basu penning the script, and the duo will take on that project after Alvarez directs the script he wrote with Basu for The Girl in the Spider's Web, Sony's continuation of the Lisbeth Salander saga they began with The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Insiders for Deadline stress that with Labyrinth, the filmmakers wish to create a new story within the universe created from the original movie, and that it is not a remake and it is more in line with a spin-off or sequel. Alvarez responded to Deadline's request for comment, saying, Labyrinth is one of the seminal movies from my childhood that made me fall in love with filmmaking. I couldn't be more thrilled to expand on Jim Henson's mesmerizing universe and take a new generation of moviegoers back into the Labyrinth. Rocha, your thoughts on a Labyrinth sequel directed by Fede Alvarez?
Well, if they're saying it's confusing because if they're saying it's a spin-off or an offshoot, but not, how can it not be a sequel? Like I'm confused about the way they're presenting it to me. So I'm going to assume that it is a sequel, and if it's going to be a sequel, then David Bowie, unfortunately, has passed away. What are you going to do about the Goblin King? Jennifer Connelly's still with us. Is she going to come back as Sarah? How much of that is going to be factored into this? And now, what Mark said in the intro, too, is great. Fede Alvarez, fantastic wrestler. Don't Breathe was amazing. I'm looking forward to see what he does with the sequel. I thought the Evil Dead remake was really well done as well. They used that actress from Suburgatory. I had no idea she could go to those things. So he did a great job with getting that out of her. So for me, this is interesting. He's taking on another property like he did with Evil Dead and going to see what he can do with it and put his own spin on it. So I look forward to see what Fede does. There's just so much that happened in Labyrinth that was fun to explore, but they never, ever did a sequel, which was interesting. Certain films in the 80s just didn't get sequels. And so for whatever reason, they want to explore it now. And there's probably way more that they do with technology, way more to explore with the mythology of this. And because we as a society have accepted more of this exploration as a result of Star Wars 2 and these superhero films, more of exploration of mythology and creating universes and what this does psychologically to kids, what's psychologically to teenagers. So it'll be interesting to see, like, will this person be that goes into Labyrinth? Will they be related to Jennifer Connelly's character in some way, like Hook was, where they did that, where they brought back Robin Williams to go back into the universe of Peter Pan. So I'm excited for Fede Alvarez taking this on. I'm not the hugest Labyrinth fan, but I know it's a good film that a lot of people love and revere. I enjoyed it when I saw it, but I'm not obsessed with it, but I know people are. So this is going to be, he's got to tread carefully, and I think this is the right guy to do that with, because I think he did that with Evil Dead as well.
Look, Fede Alvarez, you guys know me from Nightmares, and what I say about Fede Alvarez, Don't Breathe, is one of the best movies, period. Yeah. I mean, it's just a fantastic movie, genre or not. I loved it. So when you take Fede Alvarez, who's already doing the next Lisbeth Salander, Salinger, did I just screw that?
Yeah.
Salinger. And he's doing that over at Sony, and then they made a point to say he's going to do this after.
Right.
Now, a lot of people are like, Labyrinth, we don't need a sequel. I disagree. I think there's a huge world out there. I also disagree with people saying that we don't. How can we do a Labyrinth movie without David Bowie? Sad but true. I know. He's gone, and that's bums me out. But the world that Labyrinth exists in is rich with mythology. The Jim Henson studio is coming in to co-produce this thing, and we have a huge fan with Fede Alvarez. Can you imagine his sensibility? I mean, he's going from Don't Breathe to Spiderwebs, which I get. That's an obvious move over. But then Labyrinth?
Is Spiderwebs the No Doubt biopic?
Yeah,
documentary?
Walking in the Spiderwebs. Yeah. Yeah, good one. Thanks, Josh.
Cody, appreciate
That's
it.
great.
Oh, my God.
So it's an interesting turn for Fede Alvarez, who is going to cement his status as an A-list director. He could with a Labyrinth sequel. Now, Deadline says spinoff and or sequel. This has been in development for a very long time.
Same as Dark Crystal. This and Dark Crystal.
Same as Dark Crystal, but
another Henson property.
Personally love the idea because this world has a lot to offer. That's why I like it. I think you can get millions of stories. I think Jennifer Connelly should come back.
Yeah,
definitely.
And that's my take. Josh Macuga.
I have a very strong, passionate feeling on this because Labyrinth was one of those movies that kind of shaped my childhood. I watched it all the time. It was Labyrinth and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
And
Willy
Goonies.
Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
And
Of course, Goonies.
Yes.
Because
all
I'm
right,
a human
guys.
being.
Guys,
we're not going to do.
We're not doing Goonies
not
today.
doing Goonies.
All right. Thank you very much.
Labyrinth is one of those movies that you look back now and it sort of holds up. David Bowie's dick bulge in that movie is ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
He is wearing like the tightest gray pants of all time, and his donger is gigantic. You can't take your eyes off it. It's silly. It's like the big he's not messing around. It's always front and center. The guy who's working the camera was going straight for Jammer.
You're making Cody uncomfortable.
Yeah, Cody's over there.
Sweating. He's getting red.
But here's the thing. I love Labyrinth. It was such a creepy, fun movie. Jennifer Connelly, the stealing of the baby, reminiscent of like a Ghostbusters 2 or what's going on in Troll Hunters right now.
Well, Ghostbusters 2 stole that from
Yes,
Labyrinth.
of course, yeah. But You don't do this movie without David Bowie. I'm sorry. Just let sleeping properties lie. Let the original stay where it is. We don't need another piece of this property because it was so long ago that the kids that loved it then are the kids that are going to go now and hate on it. Me being one of them. Wow. And I just don't see the need for. Listen, if you want to reboot Labyrinth and you want to do something totally new, but if you're going to do a sequel or a spinoff and you don't have David Bowie in the property, it is a miss. It is 100% miss. Respect the man's legacy. Do not do another Labyrinth.
Wow, it's an interesting take. I just don't get it. I don't get how, because of the world and because of Fede Alvarez, you can go off without the Goblin
Don't
King.
Breathe was fantastic. I love Don't Breathe. Yeah. Don't Breathe and Labyrinth are like, that's night and day, Mark Reilly.
It is. But I would argue that that's why I'm intrigued by this.
If you told me Guillermo del Toro was going to come in and do a Labyrinth, they'd be like,
yes.
done.
Okay.
Done. Do
so
a
interesting.
Ghost.
So if Guillermo del Toro comes in, you would say yes to the sequel.
I would be way more inclined to say yes.
Okay.
I'm still.
I can respect that.
I don't want to be like famous dude name dropper, but Bowie was a buddy of mine. You don't mess with Labyrinth.
No, he has great story.
Yeah, they worked out at the gym a few times.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing with the David Bowie. How would you feel? There's two questions I have for you. How would you feel if they did him like they did Tarkin in Rogue One? Would you be okay with them bringing him back in that way?
And the internet just cried out as if 1,000 voices all cried out in terror.
You know what?
Would you be okay with that?
It's a legit question nowadays, being where technology is.
And I'm sure there's a voiceover double they can do.
Listen, I mean, you're talking about something I would hope they would do in order to respect the man's legacy and then spin something off or whatever.
Right.
But if you don't put David Bowie or at least a David Bowie likeness in this video, in this movie, it's a miss.
Okay. How about a reference? How about a reference to the Goblin King?
No.
Okay.
And then I have a question for you, Mark. Do you think this is another thing where they're going back to these properties and try to revitalize them in a way that's non-CGI? Do you know what I'm saying? With Henson and everything, like what we see with Star Wars going back to original trilogy, going using practical effects. Exactly, Josh. Do you think this is? Do you think we're starting as a society to go back to this practical? We're moving away from having too much CGI because we want to feel connected to this stuff.
I think so. I think there is a definite awareness to use practical effects.
Yeah.
And I think that, we saw with Force Awakens, I think there's a balance that you can find by using some practical effects with CGI. But I think with Labyrinth, you're going to want complete practical effects. They're Muppets. Yeah. Look, this is the Jim Henson Creature Shop creating these things. I mean, Bluto is like
the best.
The best.
The best. I had a Bluto stuffed animal.
Awesome. and I want to see that. Are we going to get some of those? I know we can't have Goblin King, but are we going to get Bluto back?
Yeah.
It's interesting to think about.
People have heard this story. I've told this story on a few podcasts and maybe even whatever. But the first time I met David Bowie, everybody's like, "Well, what's the first question you asked him? What'd you ask him?" And we kind of talked for a bit. The first career question I asked him was like, "Was that your hand playing with the ball in Labyrinth?" He was like, "Nah, that was a hand model." I was like, "Son of a bitch! That was
funny.
awesome." I thought he had a handball trainer that was teaching me. He was like, "Oh no, that guy was like a legit juggler, magician that had been doing it his whole life."
It's amazing. Yeah. Well. Those are our takes on Labyrinth. I know whether you like it or not, it looks like it's coming. They have Fede Alvarez. But let's go into Buy or Sell next. You guys know what Buy or Sell is all about. Sinead, what do we got?
Lionsgate has unveiled the first redband trailer for the action comedy The Hitman's Bodyguard, starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. The film stars Reynolds as the world's top protection agent, a man who is tasked with serving as the bodyguard for his mortal enemy, a notorious assassin played by Samuel L. Jackson. Expendables 3 Helmer Patrick Hughes directs the movie that also stars Gary Oldman and Selma Hayek. And it opens in theaters on August 18th. Josh, buy or sell the first trailer for The Hitman's Bodyguard?
All right. Yesterday, you asked me buy or sell Grasshopper Bang Session. Today, you're asking me to buy what looks like the funniest trailer I've seen in a year. Yes, buy this. He's making fun of Samuel L. Jackson. He's almost Deadpooling Samuel L. Jackson, which looks incredible. And he's a hitman himself. This is such a funny idea for a movie that it almost harkens back to 1, Pulp Fiction, 2, The Other Guys, when Samuel L. Jackson plays that crazy cop that's just with the rock. It's like, aim for the bushes, and then cut to a funeral. This movie looks incredible. Ryan Reynolds right now can do no wrong in my eyes. Not only does he kill it on Instagram and Twitter and whatever, but he kills it in the movies. This trailer, we were talking a few days ago about comedy trailers and how there haven't been many great ones.
Right.
This one, I was giggling the whole time. It was incredible.
I loved this trailer. It's such a huge buy. It surprised the hell out of me. Right? You said it. Ryan Reynolds follow him on Twitter. It's the funniest thing I've ever. When he responds to fans that actually want to sleep with them, it's incredible. Like somebody's like, will you kick me in the face and grab my balls and drag you across the room? And he goes, sorry, I can't. I'm with my daughter. It's like he's just deadpan. He's so funny. It's showing up here. This movie has his tongue firmly in its cheek. It's making obvious fun at the Bodyguard with the Whitney Houston song.
Yeah.
I love that Ryan Reynolds is sitting there just going, God, everything sucks, and things are blowing up behind him.
Yeah.
That's a big buy. I can't wait to see us. Rocha, what do you think?
Absolutely buy, yeah. Once again, perfect use of Ryan Reynolds' type of comedy. And they find the right actor like Samuel Jackson to play off him, which again goes back to why I think it's a great casting of Josh Brolin as a Cable. Looks like a blast, right? The guy who directed Expendables 3, which I kind of enjoyed, for the most part. And so I'm looking forward to see how they play off each other. And how many actors can say they get the best of Samuel Jackson in a fist fight? That is rare in any film. So the fact that they let Ryan get the shot in and Sam's like, that's a pretty surprising thing, and that sells the movie for me even more. So yeah, definitely a big buy.
All right. Well, since we've gone long with some of the trailer stuff, let's move on to the next story so we can get all of this out of the way.
THR is reporting that dope breakout star Shameik Moore has been cast as the voice of Miles Morales in Sony's upcoming animated movie, Spider-Man. The project doesn't spotlight Peter Parker as the web head this time around, but will instead feature Miles, the popular incarnation introduced in 2011, who is half black and half Latino. Also joining the production is Ray Donovan star Liev Schreiber, who will voice the movie's villain, though the character's identity is being kept under wraps. Young Han Solo Helmer Phil Lord wrote the project and is producing alongside his co-director Chris Miller. Plot details are being kept secret, but the focus will be on Morales as he juggles school life and superheroics in the classic Spider-Man mold. The movie is slated for release on December 21st, 2018. Rocha, do you buy or sell Shameik Moore as Miles Morales and Liev Schreiber as the villain in the animated Spider-Man movie?
Okay, so this is really tough for me because I might have to walk the line and be a bit of an asshole here, but he is half Latino, half black in the creation of Miles Morales. Shameik Moore is from Jamaican descent, so there's not that in there, and so to me that's because Jamaicans will be the first ones to tell you they're not African Americans, right? Okay. And so to me, one of my best friends, Andre Gordon, is Jamaican. He makes a point of saying that, and so this is this thing. So to me, it's a good casting. I like Shameik Moore; he's a fantastic actor. I would have liked them to do a little bit of research and find someone who could actually evoke that kind of thing. So, but Shameik is fantastic. I think he'll kick ass in this part. What's interesting is that with the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer, they stole that best friend, the larger dude who plays his best friend, Tom Holland's best friend. Right. That's from the Miles Morales storyline.
Yeah,
so it's going to be interesting to see if
the guy that's going to play Flash Thompson, that's from the Miles Morales
exactly.
storyline too.
So it'll be interesting to see how they walk that line, and are they going to use those elements or just toss those elements and start something new, or how they're going to play with this. And I love Liev Schreiber, so to me, the fact that he wasn't in Logan was heartbreaking. He was cut out right before they started shooting. They had written a whole scene where he runs a depot and Logan has to go get supplies from him, which I thought would have been awesome.
Really?
Yeah, the director said that in an interview. And so it would have been great to see that. Yeah, exactly.
That is
so,
a miss.
so me, I'm always happy when Liev Schreiber plays a villain. I'm a big fan of the Ray Donovan. It's such a fantastic show that's on Showtime. So to me, all the elements say you should buy it, so I will buy it. But I wish they could have found someone who had some Latino and black inside, combined. It would have been a nice thing to evoke Miles Morales.
Rocha, I would agree with you completely on that. I think they should have. If I'm just going to take it on casting, I buy it.
Yeah,
because
of course.
Dope
great.
is a fantastic movie, so I'm very excited about that. As for who Liev Schreiber is playing, Ray, who does our graphics, is assuming he's playing Craven, which I think is a fantastic call. However, I'm looking at the chat.
Ray's Photoshop is incredible.
His Photoshop's incredible. The chat is saying you need to save Craven for live action. I tend to agree with you there.
Yeah.
I would love to see Craven in live action. He's one of the best Spider-Man villains of all time. I wouldn't hate the fact if Craven is hunting Miles Morales. I don't know if that's happened in the Miles Morales storyline. I kind of fell off, unfortunately. Miles Morales is a great creation.
He's awesome.
Brian Michael Bendis, who reinvigorated the Spider-Man line. Ultimate Spider-Man comic book is one of the best Spider-Man stories of all time, and then ultimately goes to where we lose Peter Parker and get Miles Morales. But those are my thoughts. Josh?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think if this was a live-action movie, they would have paid a lot more attention to what you're talking about, John.
I think you're right.
Latino African-American.
Yeah.
But I'm a really big fan of Shameik Moore. Dope was one of my favorite movies of 2015, I believe. That was Dope was 2015.
Yeah.
And most recently, and Sinead knows that I was not originally on board, but he plays Grandmaster Flash in The Get Down, and he's fantastic in that role. And I really, really enjoy that show. And he's a real talent. I think the person that I'm more excited about because you hear Liev Schreiber's voice on HBO every day, all the time.
Yes.
Right? He's incredible as Ray Donovan. The scene that you described from Logan, that just breaks my heart. But Liev Schreiber is one of my favorite actors out there. And I think that this is going to be great. What disappoints me most is that this is an animated movie. I would love to see the Miles Morales storyline in live action. I know we are not at that point yet as far as the MCU goes. So we're not, but listen, you got two great talents coming in for an animated movie. Adds what John calls the gravitas. Absolutely. Love it.
Absolutely. All right. Sinead, what's next?
According to Deadline, Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is currently tracking for a huge $150 million opening weekend, with the report further breaking down that the movie is at an 88% awareness among audiences, which should continue to grow even stronger as Marvel continues its marketing campaign. Deadline also states that since the movie is only 3 weeks out, the figure could be on the lower end, with some industry experts estimating it could even surpass Captain America Civil War's $179.1 million opening from May of last year. The first Guardians of the Galaxy opened to rave reviews and $94.3 million domestically in August of 2014. Reilly, do you buy or sell Volume 2 opening at $150 million?
Big sell for me. It's a big sell.
Really?
Yep. I'm going to buy this. Going to go way beyond that. It's going to go.
I was like, fuck off.
I gotcha. Gotcha.
You're the last Jedi.
I am the last Jedi. Trust me, I'm a Jedi. No, listen. I went back and looked at the second chapters in these Marvel movies, just standalones, not the team-ups, because the team-ups, you know, and Captain America Civil War, which you could argue is Avengers 2.5. Thor: The Dark World opened at 85.7, Winter Soldier 95 million, Iron Man 2 128.1 million, that's pretty big, and then of course Avengers 2 191.2 million. So if you're looking at 150 million for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, it's showing that they're one of the most popular in the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. More popular than Thor on his own, more popular than Cap on his own, and obviously more popular than Iron Man on his own. However, you never know when it comes to tracking. Lately, you know that it's going to go beyond. Beauty and the Beast was tracking for almost a similar number, and it opened to close to 177 million, almost getting Mark Ellis that chance to not wear the Predator
I still have to
costume.
go to Santa Clarita to moonwalk in front of a comic book shop. Because
There it is.
I didn't say to make 170 plus because I'm an idiot.
Yeah. But no, I think if these industry experts are saying that it might surpass Civil War, then we're really talking here. Because if it surpasses Civil War, which I think it has a chance to do,
But Civil War
Guardians
made 200 plus, right?
no, Civil War opened to 179.1 million. So if we're talking 150 million, we're a couple weeks out. Marketing campaign is going to kick in. We have an 88% awareness to this property, and everybody wants to see Baby Groot. I think it can beat Civil War, and that the Guardians of the Galaxy are the most popular Marvel property. Okay, so now add in their appearance in Infinity War. That thing's going to open to well over 200 million. But we're talking Guardians of the Galaxy. I buy that's going to go past 150. I'm targeting 180 million, just edging out Civil War. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, here's the thing, and we were talking about in pre-pro. This movie, this franchise, Guardians of the Galaxy, has the female factor, right?
Yeah.
This is not the kind of movie that you have to drag your significant other who doesn't traditionally like these movies to see. My lady loved the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
She
mine
loved
too.
Logan and she loved Deadpool. Okay, so those movie franchises, though, like Deadpool especially, has the female factor. Girls want to go see this. Whereas, like I said before, Beauty and the Beast didn't have the dude factor, which is probably why it didn't make 200 million, because guys were drugged by their girlfriends to go see it on a date night weekend.
Sure.
So Guardians of the Galaxy trending towards 150. I'm gonna say, I'd love to see it somewhere by that Beauty and the Beast range, like 173.
Okay.
And listen, ladies love Chris Pratt. And if you're talking about somebody, we were talking about Ryan Reynolds on social media. Pratt is hysterical on social media.
He's hysterical, and
Snack of the day.
and you're that's right. And
so
you're right
good.
about Pratt. You know those standees happening right now where you can sit on the couch with Star-Lord and everything? My mother is like, woo, sits on it and goes, can somebody take a picture of me? And she's like, this is my boyfriend. And one of my family members, of course, like, who's that cute guy? And I'm like,
Boom. See, See?
You know
I'm
who
telling you.
Chris Pratt is? I love My Cousins in Tennessee. It's so hilarious. Rocha, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I sell it going 150 like Mark because it's going to be. I think it's going to be closer to 200 million, if not 200
sell
million
for
itself.
me then.
Yeah,
I
I think it's
sell.
going to get.
I have a
because-
feeling it could be.
Yeah, because the reason is because this. What Josh said, absolutely. The female factor, you cannot discount this with a movie like this, and with Deadpool as well. That's a love story. Deadpool's a love story wrapped in a superhero film.
It's a real effed up love story, but it's a love story.
It's a damn good love story. I mean, they're more connected than most love stories I see with other films. So
Nothing says love like dill butt stuff.
yeah, well, also accepting each other for your proclivities. There's nothing wrong with that. Love is acceptance. It's not judgment. So, like with this whole thing, this is what I think. What I enjoy about the Guardians of the Galaxy is it is such a high recognition, brand awareness. People who didn't expect to like this film went and saw it with their friends, with their families, and really enjoyed it. So to me, it would not be surprised. And people are loving the trailers. Every single trailer is released, people absolutely loved. It's one of the highest viewed trailers. They're introducing new characters. They're bringing in a baby Groot, which is a perfect way to keep the kids coming in. And of course, you're having more with Michael Rooker's character, which I love is going to be
was
part
so
of this
good in
moment.
the first one,
Exactly.
man.
And then
So
you
good.
have the Karen Gillan stuff going on with Zoe Saldana. So there's stuff there to play with that expands the universe in a way that's logical. And I think people want more of Guardians of the Galaxy, so they're going to run and see this multiple times, 100%. I think, in the theater. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. How about you guys over there? What do you think? Guardians of the Galaxy, real quick. Is it going to beat Captain America Civil War that opened to 170, what did I say?
79.
79.1.
What do you think?
Yeah, definitely, because look how well it did when we barely knew anything about it.
Right?
And now everyone's fallen in love with it. Baby Groot is everything. I am Groot.
He is
I am
life.
Groot.
He is life.
Yeah, he is life, and I literally almost started crying the first time I saw him. I was like, "Oh, my hormones, my motherly hormones." But yeah, so I think if it did that well when we didn't know that much about it, and then it delivered, now it's gonna do so much better.
Yeah. How about you, Wendy Lee?
Oh man. Well, I mean, at first when I first read the news, and I was like, okay, 150 sounds about right, maybe a little less. And then Josh talked some sense into me about how this is a kind of a movie for everybody, male, female, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever.
Right.
So after I thought about it a little more, I think we'll go over 150. And I mean that trailer, all the trailers, all the TV spots have been
Hilarious.
amazing. Yeah, and Baby Groot. I own everything Baby Groot. It's kind of pathetic.
One other thing on that too, and it's a nice point that you hit, Wendy, was that my parents watched the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and went to see it based solely on the music because they were like, "Oh, this is our
Yeah,
music."
totally.
Right? And so they're like,
That
"Oh,
is
we
such a
love that
great
movie.
point. Wow.
We can't wait to see it again." And the music they've been playing in these other trailers have been awesome. So
Off the
again,
hook.
And
win-win.
Kurt Russell. And Kurt Russell.
And Kurt
And
Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Come on.
And Baby Groot.
Yes.
Baby Groot, Baby Groot.
You're talking
Baby
about
Groot.
American treasures. You forget Kurt Russell.
Yes,
Fast
Kurt,
eight.
Kurt Russell, national treasure. All right. What do we have next? Last fire
The
cell.
Renaissance. No?
According to a report from Jeff Snyder at the Tracking Board, a sequel to Eddie Murphy's classic 1988 comedy Coming to America is confirmed and moving forward at Paramount, hiring original writers Barry, what looks like Blaustein?
Blaustein.
Blaustein. Damn. Did you guys see that? Did you guys
Yeah,
see me just kill
Blaustein.
that? And David Sheffield to pen the script. Murphy recently teased a sequel on his Twitter feed before removing the tweet and his account when he claimed the account had been hacked. TMZ then followed up finding out that a movie was in development, with Snyder finding out that the project is now in active development. No release date has been targeted. Josh, do you buy or sell a sequel to Coming to America with the original writers penning the script?
Oh man, this is a. I don't like this idea at all. I've never. I was so on board with a Dumb and Dumber 2 because I love those characters so much, right?
Right,
And then
right.
I was extremely disappointed. Same with Zoolander 2, but the trailers for Zoolander 2 look so ridiculous that I was like, no way this is going to be good. Coming to America might be one of Eddie Murphy's, if not. Listen, obviously, Beverly Hills Cop is his franchise. I mean, that's what made him an international megastar, right?
Yep.
But Coming to America might be his funniest comedy, and it's because
Absolutely.
it's smart, and it's Eddie Murphy, and that generation of people found that very, very funny. I'm included. This generation could go watch Coming to America and be bored by it. This I know because it's a different kind of comedy. And what they're going to do, just like they've done with all these long-term comedy sequels, is just jam cameos down their throat. You're going to have Randy Watson in Sexual Chocolate. They may have gotten a big single, and now they're millionaires and they live because like that wasn't good. They're going to go to the barbershop, and maybe some of the guys have died and they got young guys in there. Arsenio Hall's going to make a cameo. I'm sure the McDowell's has been taken over by a McDonald's, and now the guy has to run a McDonald's franchise, or he's trying to start his own thing. Like I could write this movie, and it sounds worse in my head than I'm actually saying it right now. It's just a cameo fest, and I just don't think that works with the Coming to America franchise. The best line in that movie is, "Thank you, fuck you," you know, like
yes, fuck you too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That stuff wouldn't fly in comedy these days. It's gonna fall flat for today's audiences, and it's a shame because the original Coming to America is simply genius. And that's my rant. I'm sorry.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I didn't know how to feel about this. It broke pretty late last night. I had to put it in. They've been talking about it for a while. In a tweet, Eddie Murphy deleted his Twitter account because he kind of broke the news on there.
Oh, no.
And then TMZ goes in and kind of finds out that it's actually happening. So we've been hearing about this. I didn't really put much stock into it until they got the original writers, and they're obviously moving forward. And yeah, you think of Zoolander 2.
Yep.
You think of Dumb and Dumber 2. And I don't know. I think you nailed it on the head, Josh. It's how do you? It's going to be a lot of like, hey, remember the other movie?
Yes, yes.
And what was so great about Coming to America is the heart in that movie.
100%.
It was so. I mean, when Akeem would like kind of pull back and not be Eddie Murphy, and he's like, "One must not learn to walk, must one learn to fly," or whatever he says.
Right.
It's like this profound statement as he just took out a robber with a mop handle.
Yes.
It's so well done. There's outlandish things, of course. There's great cameos by Eddie Murphy, and then Randy
Even
Watson,
the woman
Sexual
in the
Chocolate.
Western Union Telegram when she signs it, semi.
Yeah,
Like, semi.
why not make it a cool million? There's so many wonderful parts of that. It's just it's following another trend where they're trying to go recapture that magic and get some box office dollars.
There's a reason why that movie was magic. Is because time of release and the time in Eddie Murphy's career. Since then, dude, the last 5 or 6 years since the Dreamgirls movie, Eddie Murphy has been pounding sand.
Yeah.
One movie after another.
And look, Beverly Hills Cop 4 has been in active development hell.
Yeah.
It actually is in hell. It scripts here, scripts there. They're from everything I've heard and all the research I've done, the scripts have not been great. He can't figure it out. Then he tries to make a Beverly Hills Cop TV show, doesn't even get a pilot. It's canceled. So there's something going on that it feels like he's going to come into America. Oh, Beverly Hills Cop didn't work? Well, here's Coming to America. And it just feels a little desperate. I don't like it. Am I going to see it? Probably. Because I love Coming to America so much, but man,
I'll wait till you guys go see it.
Yeah, they
Tell me it's terrible.
really have to find a good story. They got to find that heart. Why? Because it troubles me to think that Akeem went to all that trouble to find his queen, and then we get a second movie,
And they're divorced.
and they're divorced. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Come on.
But that's just speculation. But I don't know, Rocha.
I buy it. I buy it because I like that the original writers are coming back. I like
It's a good sign. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
It's a good sign.
Eddie needs a hit, and sometimes you stick around long enough, you come back. That's just how it works. That's why people make up these weird terms that end with Renaissance. There's these things that happen. Someone
that a shot?
Someone
You
said,
taking a shot?
No. I'm
taking a shot?
No. I read last night. Someone did Kidmanaissance. Someone was trying for Nicole Kidman again. I was like, she never left. So it's just these
She
stupid
just got
things.
nominated for a freaking Oscar.
I know, right? This is stupid things like that. But so to me, I'm kind of encouraged because Eddie deserves a hit. Eddie needs a hit. With Charlie Murphy dying, sometimes there's this place where you sometimes the universe conspires to bring you up, and I think it's time for him to have something here, and I'm excited for it. I don't trust Jeff Snyder. He's part of the Patriots. I don't believe anything he says. No, I'm joking. So I was excited that he broke this, and I was initially, I have the same thing. I have trepidation because of Beverly Hills Cop 3, because of some of his other projects, and you're right, not since Dreamgirls. He hasn't had a really good film. I mean, Norbit, Jesus, what was that all about? And the terrible stuff with whatever he did last year. He was the chef. He didn't do it. But I've seen Eddie in interviews. Eddie when he goes on the talk shows. He is an engaging, funny, still incredibly intelligent guy. And you were absolutely right. Coming to America is the zenith of Eddie Murphy as a comedian. This is one of the best films. And it showed you, like you just said, Mark, that Eddie could really act. He could play vulnerability. He could play levels in films. And so this is the launching pad. and you loved, and he's great in Dreamgirls. He got robbed for that Oscar by Alan Arkin in Little Miss Sunshine. Give me a break with that crap. And so to me, I think Eddie kind of deserves one last hit maybe before we close the book on his possibilities here in Hollywood.
Schmodown promo here for you guys. What is the name of Eddie Murphy's kingdom in Coming to America?
Zamunda.
Zamunda.
Correct.
I mean,
Yeah.
not to agree with Bobby Zamuda. Wait.
There it is. All right, guys, that'll do it for our buy or sell segments. Listen, we have a lot of announcements. Jedi Council, a live Jedi Council from the convention is now up on our channel. Check that out. Also, we'll have mailbag this
They
weekend.
sold it out too. They sold out the Jedi
They
Council.
sold
And
out
Wendy
the Jedi
just
Council.
They sold out the 5-way Schmodown. So somebody
Nice.
they tweeted they've been waiting in line. They came 2 hours to wait in line and it's already cut off.
It's unbelievable what you guys are doing out there in Orlando with Collider. I'm sitting over here in California, humbled by you guys and the fans coming out in droves that you're doing. Yeah, Wendy just said it. Looks like the Star Wars Schmodown panel is closed, sold out, standing room only. Don't worry, we will have a video. I don't know when it's going to go up just yet, but I'll keep you posted. Check out Collider Video's Twitter feed because it will be out there. So make sure you check that out. Also, guys, Awesome-tacular, a new Jeremy John's Awesome-tacular drop today on the Verizon Go 90. Just go check that out. But guys, later today, I know we're talking Star Wars, but there is a huge Schmodown happening today. The free-for-all. 35 competitors. 35 competitors are going at it. And the winner gets a title shot. Is it going to be John Rocha? Is it going to be me? I don't know. We're going to go up in a Schmodown match sooner or later. But the free-for-all is coming at you at about 2 p.m. today. Check the Twitter feed. And oh my God.
John Rocha
Somebody just,
What's that you said?
Almost tore down the whole set, and then he
my
has to
God.
run back to bring his shiny
So-
toy.
You taking a shot?
The outlaw, the outlaw will be at the free-for-all. The outlaw, I almost hesitate to ask, what do you see for this free-for-all?
I see 34 dead bodies. That's what I see, damn it. 34 dead bodies and me standing above them with my lightsaber going from red, just pure red. Black and red, because I'm going to destroy all these people. It's a joke that I have to play, that I have to even be part and test my knowledge against these fools. They're going to come and do the crap they're going to do. I'm going to knock them out one by one by one. I hope I draw number one. I want to draw number one, so I can just keep laughing as they keep falling off the cliff and me knocking them out one by one, 3 by 3, 4 by 4. I don't care how many I have to knock them out of. And then at the end,
Starting to sound like
tag
an
team
In-N-Out
titles. At the end, Inner Geekdom title. And yeah, everybody down at Star Wars Celebration, enjoy your belt for the limited amount of time that you'll win it in the Schmodown Star Wars free-for-all, whatever that is that don't going down there, because then I'm going to come get that belt too. I want all the belts. I just took Cody's belt this morning just because I felt like it. Just because I felt like it.
All
He
the
needs his belt.
All the records.
Have you seen the size of that human being?
I didn't know
He
he.
needs his belt.
I didn't know he wore those boxers. Those are interesting looking boxers. I don't get the hearts thing at all. But yeah, there it is.
He's
So
a
I'm just
lover,
telling
that's
you.
why.
I'm just telling you. So come get the outlaw, son. I got the belt. Come get it.
Strong words from the
Free-for-all.
outlaw. Strong words for the outlaw. Yep, the free-for-all is happening. I am also in it. I can't wait to see what the competitors are. I'm going to be doing less of a, I'm going to kill everybody and stand on their dead bodies. More like I'm going to be scouting my competition. I'll just put it that way.
Oh my
I
God.
guess.
Scouting. Huh? I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not.
going
actually
for
in
it too, man. I can't wait to play.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
want
be
to be
fun.
in there as well. We're competitors, and make sure
Absolutely.
you check out, because next week, I don't know, we're going to have a little championship contention.
that belt on the
contender,
line.
Putting the belt
Yes.
on the line. We'll get to that next week. Check out the free-for-all dropping later today. All right, Wendy, we're going to skip mailbag. We went a little long because we gushed about The Last Jedi trailer. So let's go right to Twitter questions. Wendy, do we have anything?
Sure. This one comes from A. Clay, who writes, which songs would you like to hear on the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 soundtrack?
Well, I think we've heard a
Ooh.
bunch already that I can't wait to hear, but man, I don't know. You guys, Rocha, you have some?
I'm a big fan of soft rock. Yacht Rock is one of my favorite channels on Sirius XM. I think they took it down though. It's not
You know, I
on
did a
anymore.
whole knapsack files on the history and my top 5 favorite moments in Yacht Rock.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, I
that's
love
great.
Yacht Rock.
A little
Yeah.
river band would be nice.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying?
Reminiscing.
Reminiscence is one of the best songs ever.
Oh, yeah. Maybe some
there's-
Ambrosia?
Ambrosia would be fantastic. Biggest part of me. Come on.
Yes.
There's a lot of soft rock stuff that should be on there, and so that's where I would go.
Okay. How about
Everybody
you, Josh?
knows where I'm going with this. You got to put some Journey in there.
I
maybe,
yes.
maybe a
there you
Stoned
go.
in Love.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the greatest yacht rock duos of all time, Kenny Loggins, Steve Perry. Have you never heard the
What?
Kenny Loggins, Steve Perry?
No.
Oh, I'm not even. Just
Oh,
look
yeah.
up
Just
Kenny
look it up.
Loggins.
What?
They did
Yep.
a duet. It's on Kenny Loggins' album, the one that he won a Grammy for.
Is it a remake of The
Incredible.
Girl Is Mine? No.
No.
I would love to hear some Kenny Loggins because
Absolutely.
Kenny Loggins, because he
This
brings
is
up
it.
Footloose and Guardians of the Galaxy and Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
I also go back to the journey. It would be great to see Gamora and Star-Lord's romance keep going, and then hear the din 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 din, just a small town girl. Scream. Yep. Living in a, yep. That's what I want to hear. I love that question. Wendy, what do we have next?
Jonathan Peck writes, what do you think of Bill Condon in talks to helm the Bride of Frankenstein remake for the Universal Pictures?
Yeah, this broke late last night. Saw it this morning. Couldn't put it in the show. We'll probably talk more about it on Monday. So quick thoughts here. For me, I wasn't crazy about Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
I walked out of it loving it, going, wow, the nostalgia was so strong with me. But then once it settled, I was kind of like, well, I still prefer the cartoon. The cartoon just had that magic for me. So Bill Condon, I didn't think really added much to it. So for Bride of Frankenstein, he's obviously a talented director, and I think he can knock it out of the park. But it doesn't get me that excited. I don't go, yes! It gets me like, oh, okay.
I'm with you. Middle of the ground.
Yeah.
6 out of 10.
I want to see what he does, because if they're going to make it a small film, if they make it a smaller kind of film like he did with Mr. Holmes, like he did with Kinsey.
See, yeah.
If he does that kind of vibe, then I'm excited to see what he does, because it'll be a different kind of take on a horror film. Do you know what I'm saying? And so to me, I'd be excited to see what he do with that. But he's been focusing on these musicals lately and not always hitting the mark. Even Dreamgirls was uneven, just like Beauty and the Beast was uneven. So maybe him going back to something like this and making kind of a smaller film would be a good thing for him at this point.
And that's if he can play in their sandbox that they're creating in this MonsterVerse, because we heard from the writer of The Mummy, Chris Morgan, who was saying they don't really have a plan. We hadn't had any announcements for the next monster movie. This is the most legit. So it looks like Bride of Frankenstein might be next up for the offering.
And I like Bride of Frankenstein simply because we haven't really seen much of a Bride of Frankenstein franchise at all.
No, I mean, obviously we have the old movie and the Bride of Frankenstein, but it'll be interesting. That's all I'll say. I know Angelina Jolie was kind of rumored to be the Bride of Frankenstein. That would be kind of bonkers in my mind.
Life imitating art, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Bazinga! I like that.
Or art imitating life, whatever you want to call it. Fast 8! Sorry.
There it is. All right, Wendy, do we have any more?
Yeah, this one's actually kind of similar to the mailbag we skipped, so I figure I'll just ask it. Alder Talk writes, which Star Wars character should get the next solo movie after 2020? Darth Vader, Maul, Yoda, or Ahsoka? I say Maul.
I think that was our fan who sent in the actual mailbag. I think that was it.
Wow.
I don't know. It's hard for me to. I hesitate to go like a Yoda movie. I don't want a Yoda movie at all. I don't think we need it. I think Yoda exists the perfect way right now. I hope I see him in Episode 8. There's a part of me, because Vader knocked it out of the park with that last scene in Rogue One, I could see a Purging of the Galaxy movie with Vader at the center, bring in Emperor Palpatine. We kind of focus on before the Battle of Scarif, before all of that, like what is going on with Vader. That's interesting to me. They opened up that mythology when he's in the castle on Mustafar. That would be interesting to really get into Vader's head, because in Lords of the Sith, great canon book, you get into his head where he's pushing out these thoughts of Padme, and he's just so angry. I would love to get the psychology, what's going in Anakin Skywalker's head that is now Darth Vader. So that's fascinating to me, but then you risk overexposure. So I don't know, that's just me.
I want to see a coming-of-age tale with like Luke Skywalker in high school with all of his cool buddies. Nothing to do with Star Wars at all. Just
Dazed and Confused on Tatooine.
Dazed and Confused with Tatooine. Just crushing
I like it.
Some, like,
hey man, you want to go to Tashi Station, pick up some power converters?
Bro, it's me, Skywalker.
Dude, man.
He's got like a tossed haircut.
Leave me alone, Biggs.
Man, put the Death Stick down, man.
Dude, how do you talk to girls, Biggs? How do you talk to girls?
Oh man, there's your
How do I get
movie
a
right there.
mustache?
I think we just solved it for you.
We'll get Frank Linklater to direct it.
Yeah, right.
I die on the Ahsoka Tano Hill. I will fight and die on that Ahsoka Tano Hill. She deserves a spin-off movie once and for all. She is one of the most revered characters, no matter what series she pops up in. Clone Wars, Rebels, even the books. They gave her a standalone book. Why wouldn't they give her a standalone movie? So I will live and die on that hill.
That's where I would go to. I think that's a really great call, Rocha. I think that because she doesn't have a lot of she has zero live action and history in the saga. So wouldn't it be she walks away from the Jedi Order at the end of the Clone Wars series? What is she doing? That's your movie right there. I know there's a book, but that would be interesting to see. I think that's a great call too. Cool. All right, Wendy, what do we have next?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to look at the next one. Okay, well, this is interesting. Michael Smith writes, when do you think actors start getting in very good shape for superhero movies? I always found that interesting.
God, I don't know. I mean,
it's like training camp. So basically you book the role. And I mean, you're in talks for these roles for a while, but you go into like a 6 to 10 week training camp, 2-a-days, every kind of workout you can imagine, and their diets are incredible. They're nutritionists. I mean, you are basically running a boxing training camp. And I think like, you know, the Chris Pratt one, he shed like 25 pounds in 10 weeks and shed it all muscle. I mean, what they're able to do with nutrition, supplements, and training now, you can do it in 6 to 10 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, Hugh the one I followed the most was the Hugh Jackman when he was getting ready for Wolverine at an older age, you know, and it took him 4 to 6 weeks with his trainer. Yeah. They had these things laid out, you know, and he even wrote a book about training.
It's incredible.
And it's fantastic. It lets you know how to diet and when to work out, the times to work out, and what to eat before and after you work out. Like all these things are there. And so they pull out, because they're also paying them millions of dollars. So
and they're also paying these trainers hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
To do it.
It ain't like basketball, you show up fat even though you have trainers. Like there's these guys really dedicated, and fans are going to kill them if they're not.
Of course,
it's part of it. Yeah.
And you're gonna look at these actors, and you're gonna see that they also maintain a workout regimen when they're not playing Captain America, or they're not playing Logan. You know, like Chris Evans, I'm sure goes to the gym when he doesn't have to worry about Captain America.
You also can't. There's a lot to do with genetics. Like these guys are coming in already in pretty great shape.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth genetics. That whole family's genetics is a freakish thing. You aren't born with. You can't just grow abs, right? You can't. You have genetically either have abs or you don't. You're either Sinead DeVries, genetically a freak with body-wise, or you're Josh Macuga who eats a burrito and he's got to work out for 45 straight weeks to lose 8 pounds. You know, it's hard. It's not fucking easy.
You know, my uncle calls it the Lucky Sperm Club.
Yes.
It's a very exclusive club called the Lucky Sperm Club. Those guys are,
that's why what Chris Pratt did was fantastic. Yeah. That's why it was so amazing. So him to maintain it. And now apparently he's getting body shamed that he's too thin. It's like, shut the fuck up.
You can't win in this business.
As a guy who struggles with his weight all the time, like, shut the fuck up. Like,
easy,
lose
man.
as much as you want. Be happy where you're at. And anybody tries to shame you, kiss my damn ass.
That's right.
Unless you're morbidly obese, you should really look into that because it's unhealthy.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, that will do it for movie talk.
Oh
we
my
gotta.
Is that
we
what
gotta.
we're ending on?
That's what we're.
Stupid morbid obese.
All right.
Son of a bitch.
All right. Audible. One
Sorry,
more.
Could-
One
All
more.
right, sure, one more. Why not? It's
Well,
Friday.
let's do it. Why not?
Why not?
Sinead's over there. Just
Nolan
giggling
Dean
at
writes,
everything.
if The Last Jedi has a twist like Empire Strikes Back did, what would you guys think if it was Rey turning to the dark side?
Yeah, there have been rumors.
There's rumors. I mean, I personally love that idea. I do. I think it's just daring. It raises the stakes even more. It puts this beloved Daisy Ridley that everybody fell in love with as a villain. And how can you argue with that? That is interesting storytelling. But that's my take, Rocha.
I think it would be. There's a Reddit thread out now saying that Rey may be the reincarnation of Anakin Skywalker if they start playing this
I
thing.
don't know
So
about
who
that.
knows? Who knows if that
That's
could?
tough to
because
get
she's
your head
hearing
around.
voices that in Force Awakens that she would never have heard in any way, shape, or form. Basically doing the Anastasia thing where she has amnesia and remembering. So like to me, shout out to that animated film. So to
I was
me,
going to say, did you just make an Anastasia reference?
I love
That's
that
your
film.
champ, everybody.
I
He
love
knows
that film.
Anastasia.
I love
didn't
that
know
film.
the name of the pub, Entangled.
But anyway,
I think it's the Ugly Duckling.
here's the danger though.
I learned it from Schmodown.
Here's the danger. If you take one of your strong female heroines and you are really kind of pushing this forward and turn her into evil and then make Kylo the hero, then you're kind of pushing the misogyny stuff a little bit. And so I think that would be the danger if they did that. I don't think we're far enough yet where that wouldn't matter. So I think that would be the issue. But I think a twist is coming because that where Poe Dameron is running in the trailer and that the X-wing the X-wing fighter blows up, it's because there's a spy.
Yeah.
So there is a twist there. There's a spy in the rebellion, but I don't know who it is.
All right, Josh.
BB-8, that son of a.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I like it. I don't hate it. Daisy Ridley as the hope for the Force and the Jedi is great, but listen, if you're gonna buck the trend and you want to do a different Star Wars movie and a different Star Wars storyline, turn her dark.
Yeah, and then maybe she turns dark at the end, and then maybe Luke has to work his way to save her by the end of the third.
Who knows? Mole. Maybe she goes mole.
Yeah. You never know. You never know, and that's a interesting question. But we will see when The Last Jedi comes out at the end of the year. All right, guys, that'll do it for Collider Movie Talk. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for all the love, guys. You guys gave me a lot of love for hosting these past 3 days. I couldn't be happier. It was a lot of fun. The guys out in Celebration, thank you. The guys out in Celebration, go ahead and follow them. There's still more to do. Stay tuned to Collider Video because we will drop that Star Wars Schmodown.